Elvis swayed, as if the truth physically winded him. I thought, if I could make things right with Tanya in this life, you'd undo the guilt of letting her die in the first? His silence confirmed it. You were never in love with her, Elvis. You were in love with the idea of escaping the life your parents forced on you. And when you couldn't. Stop, he whispered, voice breaking. Just tell me how to fix this. I handed him a manila folder, copies of the contracts his parents had signed to secure my family's initial investment, backdated to before our first engagement. You can't fix the Sutphin family, but you can let it end with dignity instead of dragging more people down with it. He flipped through the pages, pale. You've known about this since the rebirth. I knew your family's greed would lead here, but I also knew you'd never see it until you had nothing left. As he left, Garrett emerged from the shadows, wrapping a blanket around my shoulders. You didn't have to do that, he said quietly. I didn't do it for him, I replied, leaning into his warmth. I did it for the girl who once believed in second chances. Chapter 16. The Gala and the Ghost. Our engagement gala was a glittering affair, attended by North City's elite, including Mr. Hobbs, the overseas investor, and Johnny, the photographer who'd become a close friend. But as the night wore on, a familiar figure slipped into the room, Tanya Kieran. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Elvis, who'd been lingering on the outskirts, went rigid. But you're alive? Tanya smirked, removing a wig to reveal short, platinum hair. Funny how a fake death certificate and a little plastic surgery can change everything, isn't it, Elvis? I exchanged a glance with Garrett, who gave a subtle nod. We'd suspected Tanya's death was a ruse when her body was found burned beyond recognition. Garrett's private investigators had tracked her to a clinic in Switzerland. Why? Elvis croaked. Tanya's smile turned icy. Because I got tired of being your pawn. You and your mother paid me to leave in our first life, remember? Take the money and disappear, or we'll ruin your family. She stepped closer, eyes blazing. In this life, I thought, why not let you think I was dead? Watch you destroy yourself trying to avenge a ghost. The room erupted in whispers. Mrs. Sutphin, who'd been sipping champagne, dropped her glass. You're a liar. You took our money and you thought I'd stay bought? Tanya laughed. Please. I used your guilt, Elvis. Made you believe Cecily was the villain so you'd destroy her family, just like you destroyed mine. Elvis staggered back, bumped into a table. No, you loved me. I loved your bank account, she sneered. But when I saw how far you go for a woman you didn't even love, all for some twisted idea of rebellion, I realized you were too unstable to keep around. Garrett stepped forward, slipping an arm around my waist. Enough of this, he said, voice calm but firm. This is a celebration, not a confessional. As the band began playing again, Tanya leaned in to whisper in my ear. Thanks for the stage, Cecily. I couldn't have ruined him better myself. I watched her vanish into the crowd, then turned to Garrett. You knew she'd show up, didn't you? He smiled, pressing a kiss to my temple. I knew you'd want closure. For both lifetimes. Chapter 17. The Final Choice. The next day, Elvis surrendered to the police, confessing to hiring a hitman to stage Tanya's death, though she'd already fled the country. The Sutphin family's assets were frozen, and Mrs. Sutphin suffered a heart attack, leaving Mr. Sutphin to face the fallout alone. Garrett and I spent the next month finalizing our merger with the remains of the Sutphin Group. One evening, as I sorted through old files in my father's study, I found a letter dated from my first life, written by my father the night before his death. Cecily, if you're reading this, I'm sorry. I should have seen how Elvis's gratitude was a noose. But know this, the love you gave him wasn't a mistake. It made you who you are, fierce, loyal, and unafraid to fight for what's right. I only wish I could have fought beside you longer. Tears blurred the words. Garrett, who'd been watching from the doorway, crossed the room and pulled me into a hug. He'd be proud of you, he murmured. Of how you turned pain into power. I smiled, tracing the letter's edges. I think he'd be proud of us for choosing each other, finally. That night, Garrett proposed again, properly, on one knee, with the diamond necklace from his hidden room around my neck. I've waited years for this, he said, voice steady but eyes bright. Don't make me wait another day. Yes, I said, laughing through the tears. But on one condition, no more hidden rooms full of gifts. From now on, you give them to me while I'm here to enjoy them. He stood, kissing me deeply. Deal. Though I make no promises about the flowers. You'll have to live with a lifetime of them. I can live with that, I said, and for the first time in 2 lifetimes, I believed it. Epilogue. The future forward. Our wedding was a quiet affair, held at Garrett's countryside villa. Johnny photographed it, Wendy's name a distant memory, and Mr. Hobbs toasted us as the couple who rewrote their own ending. 6 months later, I stood in the nursery, tracing the outline of a tiny onesie Garrett had bought on a whim. Do you think they'll look like you? I asked, as he wrapped his arms around me from behind. I hope so, he said, kissing my neck. Then they'll have the best eyes in the world. I turned, smiling. Or they'll look like you. Then they'll have the best smile. He laughed, soft and warm. Either way, they'll be loved. More than they can imagine. Outside, snow began to fall, a rare sight in North City. I leaned into Garrett's embrace, listening to his heartbeat, and let the past fade away. In this life, there were no more ghosts, no more regrets. Only us. Only now. Only forever.